Welcome to this morning, this day, this opportunity to be together in community, which is a time of joy, comfort, and sometimes challenges. This Unitarian Universalist fellowship is a place where we come to learn more about being human. We're not here because we've figured out all life's questions or because we think we've got it right. We come to learn more about being in relationship together, how to listen, how to forgive, how to be vulnerable, and how to create more trust and compassion in one another. How do we make this tender place wider? How do we stretch into a bolder welcome, a radical generosity of the heart? Can we imagine ourselves the stewards and ushers not only into this space, but into our circle of belonging? Let us move into our time together, willing to be authentic with each other, honest with ourselves, and opening to connection in all its forms. My name is Sarah Walker, and I am a member of the board here at QUUF. As we gather, I acknowledge that the water, land, and shorelines here in Port Townsend are the traditional territory of the S'Klallam and Chimicum peoples. We honor and acknowledge our Indigenous members and neighbors, and vow to help restore and sustain these homelands. If you're visiting today, I offer a special welcome and invite you to join us for refreshments and conversation in our fellowship hall right after the service. We have a newcomers table near the patio doors where our greeters are ready to answer any questions you might have. Welcome to all of you this morning. We're glad you're here. And we have some announcements that are important to the life of this community. If you would like to explore ways you can help with planning and putting together our annual auction, come to an informational Zoom meeting on Friday, September 20th at 10 a.m. Check this past Friday's update for the link or emails to Christina at tech@QUF.org. And most of you know Christina is a very important person in the life of our fellowship. We want to support her. We want to support the auction. Remember to sign up for our also classes. Okay, let's see if I remember the acronym for those of you who might wonder what does also mean. I think it means additional learning and spiritual opportunities. Advanced learning and spiritual opportunities. Thank you for your help, and I'm glad you know that. They are open to the whole community to share with your friends as well. And remember that Linda Hart's class, A Chosen Faith, one exploring the history, theology, and practices that have shaped Unitarian Universalism, starts this Tuesday, September 17th. So sign up now. And now we have an announcement from Hillary Rosen.
Hi, everybody. My name's Hillary Rosen, and I'm a member of the Healthy Community Team. The Healthy Community Team has commissioned Marcia Christian, who is a specialist in nonviolent communication, to create a workshop for us, which will enhance our capacity to have conversations that are important and meaningful and sometimes difficult, especially when the other side isn't always playing by the rules, if you know what I mean. There's a link in the Friday update to sign up Genius, and it's 2 days, September 27th and 28th. If you can only make one, come on Friday, because that's the fundamentals and practice. If you can come on Saturday, though, you'll experience a deeper dive and practice, practice, practice. So we hope to see you there. There'll be childcare available for both sessions if you need it. If you have any questions, contact me or any member of the Healthy Community Team. Thanks very much.
You know, we've mentioned the Friday update a couple times this morning, and it's such an important communication tool that we all have access to. And so if you don't know how to link onto that, or if you're not receiving that, come find me or someone else at the greeters table to help you understand how to access that, because it provides a great deal of information every week. So now, I'm taking my deep breath. Let us settle our minds and calm our hearts.
Okay. We are going to have a shared opening words. You can come over here. Yeah.
But we like the chalice first.
Yeah. Our opening words will be on the screen, and then we'll do chalice lighting. So our opening words, this is called Come In, Be Among Us. It is from the UUA web. And some of you will follow Nina McCormick over on this side, this half of the group, and I will lead this half of the group over here, and Susan will read in between. Okay, Susan, you want to start us?
Okay. To all who are yearning for community, to all who are just getting started, to all who long to go deeper, and to all with tender places needing care, to the ones who have healed and have care to give, for those who are curious and hungry to learn, for those who know that they have something to teach, for the ones who are just beginning to suspect that they might nurture others becoming, to the young and the old, the innocent and the jaded, the fresh of mind and the deeply steeped. There is room here for each and every one. Come in, be among us.
Okay, and for our chalice lighting, it's from Love Remains at the Center from the UUA Worship web. Please read along with me. We light this flame to remind us that love is at the center. As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains the center.
Time for the opening hymn. The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide. and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, and ruptured by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are all of love. A bright new day is dawning, when hope will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love.
Any childish acting people? Come join us. Come join us.
Okay.
This is the minute.
Oh, whoops. Okay. Hello, everyone. Come sit on my lap.
Or this little one. Little one.
I have the same book.
Oh, you have this book?
Yeah.
This is called The Mitten.
I can see that book.
I'm going to show everyone the book. Okay. Once, there was a boy named Nicky. He wanted mittens as white as snow.
I don't think I've heard it.
If you drop a white mitten in the snow, it will be hard to find, his grandmother told him.
Heard it.
But Nicky wanted snow white mittens so much that Baba made them for him.
I've heard it before.
Okay. When she finished knitting, Nicky put on the mittens and went out to play. It wasn't long before one mitten fell off. A little mole found it and crawled inside it. It was just the right size, so he decided to stay. A rabbit came hopping by. He wiggled in next to the mole. A hedgehog wanted to get warm. The mole and the rabbit made room for him.
Where's the mole? Where's your spicy?
The owl didn't want to be left out, so the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog had to move over. The little mitten was getting crowded. A badger looked out of his house and saw the mitten. He climbed right in. It started to snow, so a fox pushed his way in and made himself right at home.
Then there will be a bear.
Then a big bear sniffed at the mitten. The animals were packed in tight, but the bear didn't care. He crawled in anyways. The mitten was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then a tiny mouse squeezed in and perched herself on the big bear's nose.
Me frosty.
The mouse whiskers tickled the bear's nose. Ka-choo! The bear sneezed. All the animals flew out of the mitten. Nicky saw his mitten sail up into the air. From the window, Baba watched Nicky catch his mitten. "See, Baba," he called to her, "I have both my mittens," and Baba smiled. The end.
Nina, you're welcome to keep that book with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And may we all rise, if you can, those people on the aisles, and let's form an arch and sing the children out.
Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
That was beautiful, the fun part of the service as far as I'm concerned. So now we would pause for a time of generosity and to receive an offering to support the life and ministry of QUUF. The ushers will come among you to receive the offering, and additional ways of giving will be projected. Please join me in our offering words. This fellowship is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it. Thank you, Pat. Beautiful. This next time is set aside to share our joys and our sorrows. We recognize that our personal joys and sorrows are only a fragment of the joys and sorrows of the larger community of life, and thus we place this first stone, thinking in particular of the vigorous political process that is happening across the country. And we should remember that each of us can do our part to help create the country that we dream of. No joys or sorrows were shared by members of this congregation this week, but let's just place a final stone anyway, thinking of joys and sorrows among us that are unexpressed, but no less important.
This next reading comes from Leah Angiri from the UUA Worship Library. It's called Weavers of One Story. Here we are together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one, to embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike, weavers of one story in which we each have our part. And now we're going to have a music video from a local musician, Simon Lynge. Some of you know him. He's a native of Greenland, Iceland. He's a native of Iceland, lives here in Port Townsend, and is my next door neighbor. And this is my favorite song.
All love comes back to you. It's all given and taken. Don't ever be a fool, no. And try to mend the heart you're breaking. If one day you do find just what you left behind, then ring a bell and make the spotlight clear. You see magic will appear. Give me love, give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. Give me love, give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. A thought is but a thought, when a heart is not behind it. Love can't be sold nor bought, but if you get, you must repay it. If one day you do find just what you left behind, then ring a bell and make the spotlight clear. You see magic will appear. Give me love, give me love, bring it back to you. Give me love, give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. Do, 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 do. An image in your mind, it might be past or present, but since time we can't rewind, you better stop and take its lesson. If one day you do find just what you left behind, ring a bell and make the spotlight clear. You see, magic will appear. Give me love, give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. Give me love, give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. Give me love, give me same love, and I'll bring it back to you. Give me love, you gotta give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. Give me love, and I'll bring it back to you. Whatever you bring me, then I will bring you the same, and I'll bring it back to you. Whatever you bring me, girl, I will bring you the same, but I'll bring it back to you. Give me love, give me love, and I'll bring it back to you.
I just love that young man. Okay.
The title of today's presentation is My Search for a Spiritual Home by Roseanna Almaee. Roseanna is a grandmother of 5, a wife of 55 years, and a member of the board here at QUUF. Roseanna?
Thank you, Susan. I want to thank all of you as I look out over here and see all these faces. I know that makes me feel better to be here. Just a little nervous. And thank you, Pat, for the beautiful music. You don't know what it's like to have a piece of music you love and then you're sitting right there at the back of the piano to hear it. It just goes through the whole body. Anyway, for as long as humans have been, since time immemorial, as the Chimicum people say, we have searched for something, someone, some power greater than us and outside ourselves. This something has been called by many names: God, the Great Spirit, the One, the All-Knowing, and some specific names you might recognize: Yahweh, or Allah, from the Middle East; Zeus, from Greek; Kali, from the Hawaiian Islands; Lakshmi, or Shiva, or Vishnu, from East India; Quetzalcoatl, from South America; or Oya, or Nanabuluku, or Umoja, from Africa, and on and on. Religions have arisen from each of these named gods, each with its own mythology, rules, and understandings of creation and how we should behave. This searching that we do, some people call it a finding, is a constant throughout all human understanding. From the maids gods of the South American peoples to the gods in the heavens, or the gods and the children of the gods walking around as humans on this earth, what some people call from the one true God. We keep creating or looking for someone greater than ourselves. I think most of us have at one point looked for the one, or maybe not the one, but for something outside ourselves to explain our world. But why? My dear partner of 55 years asked me that. Why are you searching? What reason? And of course, the simple answer to why is because. I'm a kind of curious person, so my search has led me in some very interesting directions. But really, because the news today can be so awful, because there is so much pain in the world, because there is so much greed and hate and distrust and on in our world, I search because I need something better. I am too small for all these problems, so I keep searching for big things, like communities and people, to help fix this mess, to help heal the world and all its pains. In 1972, when I was visiting the University of Tehran in Iran, I first discovered the amazing poet Rumi, who wrote about this very search in his poem, The Soul of the World, and how the soul was a mirror of us. He said, it circled a while in the heavens, and then it was born as a man, and it lived many lifetimes, passing nights with ascetics and then sleeping with infidels, feeling jealousy and pain of the world, and then becoming part of the roses in the garden, and then water, and then fire. So, if the soul of the world can search for a place, why not us? As you use, this search is a core foundation of our belief, a free and responsible search for our own truth and meaning in this world. This means we are free to look for whatever fulfills us and our needs, but we are also responsible for our own truth while at the same time letting others have their truth, even if it is different from ours. This knife edge of searching while also accepting the search of others is a very delicate line you use walk. Sometimes hard, but always necessary. To me, this search is like one of those signs you see, the ones with the finger and the hand pointing a direction. And I know that many of us here grew up as Christian or some other formed religion, and we were being told what to believe. And I know that, like me, you tried really, really hard to believe that. But they had rules. 1, be good. Do good works, and it gets you into heaven, right? Do what you're told, believe what you're told, follow the rules in the book, and especially the ones from the family or the leaders or the preachers who tell you what to follow, and don't ask too many questions or any questions, right? Number 2, understand that our way is the only way. And what we are telling you is right. Number 3, pray every day. No, pray 5 times a day. And remember to do it on your knees. And remember to face east. No, pray without ceasing. And remember to say thank you. And remember not to ask for anything. And remember to, so many rules just about praying. I, like others of you, tried really hard to do these things and believe these things. But I thought I was broken inside because I had questions. I saw only commands and commandments, and I thought it was my fault for not understanding. Here's a true story. Once, in front of a group of people at a church where I was a member and attended, I was called a cafeteria Christian. Have you ever heard that? Cafeteria Christian, in public, by the minister, who said I was only taking what I wanted and not what I was supposed to take. Well, the minister did a really good job of shaming me because I left and never went back. But part of me still doubted. I thought, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe my prayers weren't being done correctly. Maybe I was too loud or too quiet. Maybe I was not spiritual enough or too spiritual. I just was not enough. Eventually, though, I realized, like others, that perhaps it was not me, but maybe the preacher or the religion that was the problem. There were other churches, other preachers and ministers. There were lots of other religions, so I should check those out. And so I looked for and checked out lots of different flavors of churches, but to me it seemed that all Christian churches were saying the same thing in different ways. Those 10 commandments, and the minister's words seemed to always be more important than those. And then I read and studied and even joined non-Christian religions. But it seemed to me that all religions were saying basically the same thing with a few different rules based on what the men in charge had decided the rules should be. And they all had the basic 10 commandments. And they all had separate belief systems. But those systems all said, if you're one of us, you're not one of them. So all of those were based on the heart of division. I didn't understand that. But even with division at the heart, I kept following that pointing finger. Have you ever seen those games where there's a little spinner, and wherever the spinner lands on the game board, you have to go that direction? Well, I kind of played that game in my search because, there are many paths to God. So I used the pointing finger thing, and it became a path all its own. I followed that many paths to God idea and what I thought were the signs of understanding. And each path had its own little form of something that would cement you as a member of the tribe. So I studied the Kabbalah and the Sefer Yetzirah, mystical Judaism of my ancestors, and I was accepted because I learned to say, Shalom Aleichem. And the response from that is, Aleichem Shalom. Slightly different, but similar in response, are my friends and my family who practice Islam, and they say, Salam Aleichem. And the response is, Aleichem Assalam. Spin. I learned about my mother-in-law's Zoroastrian beliefs, one centered on God and an eternal flame of fire. And I learned to say, Yazdan Panibad, may God protect you. And the return greeting, any Zoroastrians out here? There's Yoshadbad, may you have a long and happy life. Spin. And in the 1970s and 80s, I joined the Baha'i faith and learned the teachings of Baha'u'llah, who is recognized as the foretold return of Christ in this world. And I say, and I know there are Baha'is amongst us, Allahu Abha, God is all glorious. And the response is, Ya Baha'u'llah Abha, he is the glory of glories. Spin. I read about the Hindu beliefs, and I studied with the Buddhist master Thich Nhat Hanh when he was in the United States. And I thought, married with children, but for a brief moment, of following him back to Europe and joining the monastery. And I learned to say, Namaste. Thank you. I bow to you because God is in each of us. I love nature, and I have dabbled in the nature path, the rites of my ancient Irish ancestors, that pagan path. And we say, blessed be. And the response? Blessed be. And a few of us, and you know who you are, have followed what some people call the Jedi way. Everything is within, around, and part of all of us if we just tap into it. This path is a combination of Carl Sagan and George Lucas with a little Buddhism and Shintoism blended in. And they say, "May the force be with you." And the response is, "And with you always." And then some of us continue to wander around, looking and still wondering, what, if anything, is out there beyond us? While others of us have decided there is nothing but only us. Here as you use, we don't have commandments. We have values with love at the center. Doesn't that sound wonderful? We are not commanded. We are invited to share and live our values. To me, as you use, it looks like we have decided that all of our searching and all of the names we give to our searching and our understanding, including not searching, are all just fine. Even if you are enjoying using the spinner and following all those different directions or paths, that's also just fine, because all of these actions encompass our values. So, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, we can be here now together and support each other in whatever it is we are doing. But I also like, and you will too, I think, Rabbi David Cooper's idea in the study of the Kabbalah when he says, God is a verb, meaning that whatever you believe, it's not about sitting with it. It's about doing it. And as you use, we love to do stuff. Just look at all our committees. But back to that pesky question, why? Why is it that we are searching, especially outside ourselves? Maybe we look outside because this creation is so large and so complex, and we see ourselves as so small and insignificant. But our own Reverend Linda, in one of her sermons, said, the religion of tomorrow is in our hearts. So if you are searching outside yourself, here is another search. Go within. But either way, outside or inside, the great thing is that we get to choose. You see, I have decided that my search and the names I call it all, these are just not that important in comparison to the community of searchers. You. Like all creation, the diversity of community and the work we do together is where the heart of everything resides. Perhaps that is the heart that Reverend Linda was talking about, the heart of community. I have found that what I was looking for was not the one, but the all. I have always searched for a group of others who will share the work of turning the pains of this world into something amazing and wonderful, who will build this immediate community that I am in and the greater community around me in a good, nurturing, and honorable way, and also welcome and include everyone. We can all claim our search, or the lack thereof, in whatever way we want. We can all continue to follow those signs, or rest here in this community of free and responsible searchers, because we are all seeking an understanding of who we are, where we are, and where we are going. For me, this is what I was looking for all along, and I invite you to grow and continue in whatever way you want, but with me here and now. And may the force be with you. We have closing song number 1051, and then I hope you'll stay for the closing video because it's amazing.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Thank you so much, Doug and Pat. Our closing reading is a poem from John Rodell. When the world goes mad, become wildly kind to everyone, 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 everyone. My love, you can't control much, but you can control how you treat others. In these breaking news, heartbreaking times, when nothing feels certain, let your raw kindness be a certainty. Allow your compassion to become a north star stamped in the sky for others to follow back home. Susan's going to lead us in extinguishing the chalice.
We extinguishing the chalice? Oh.
Yeah.
You want me to read it?
You can read it.
All right.
Okay. Right here. And then on the back.
Okay.
And it should be on here too.
Okay. Now please join us in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish our flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, or power of transformation. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now we have this wonderful prelude video from the UUA choir singing We Shall Be Known.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these vibes. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend the